über 30 Städten in Deutschland. Wir versuchen, Lohnarbeiterinnen und andere Menschen zu organisieren, um in konkreten Fällen gegen schlechte Arbeitsbedingungen, gegen Lohnklau, gegen alles, was sich so bei der Arbeit an Schlimmen ereignet, vorzugehen, aber auch mehr, aber auch im Stadtteil zu wirken, aber auch in den anderen sozialen Bewegungen zu wirken, denn wir glauben, nur eine starke gewerkschaftliche, freiheitliche Bewegung, die halt ganz konkret bei den Problemen der Menschen, der Arbeitenden anfängt, kann die Gesellschaft auf Dauer wirkungsvoll verändern. Und jetzt kommt ein Redebeitrag, allerdings auf Englisch. Der Genosse Saad studiert hier in Münster, hat aber auch eine Familie und muss auch sein Geld mit Lohnarbeit verdienen. Und dabei gibt es Erfahrungen, die er gerne mitteilen würde. Ja, bitteschön.
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm a student. I also do work for my livelihood. So, but yes. Yeah, you can hear me, right? Yeah. So I'm a student. I do work for my survival, but behind this, I am also the victim of unfair, unequal, modern slavery working class conditions abused by the corporation that has been protected by the government by implementing some controversial law. Today I was thinking before coming here, like what I have to tell or what I have to share. It is over the century we are observing or commemorating or celebrating the Workers' Day. But over the century we have just been stuck working for 8 hours a day and 5 days a week. Today, over the century later, is supposed to be 5 or 6 working days and 4 days in a week, because it is not necessary to make the rich richer, because they are already rich, whereas it is important now to minimize the wage gap between the CEOs and the workers. Why all this working class inequality should change today? I can share my very personal experience. As a student, some years back, I was doing a full-time holiday job. I used to live in Givenback, and I had to commute to the Telstate every day by train or bus. Every day I had to spend 2 hours going to the workplace and return from workplace to home. Who was actually paying for these 2 hours? Undoubtedly no one, but that is supposed to be paid, right? Because the company was not providing any accommodation near to the workplace, they were not even paying for transport costs. That means they are supposed to pay for the 2 hours that I have invested for them to make profits. In that work experience, I was quite shocked when I was experienced that in 8 hours of working, I must take half an hour break. But unfortunately, this half an hour doesn't paid by the company. So it is actually very cruel, because even the machine get to rest in those companies. Last year, the company I was working, we had a meeting between employer and employees. In that meeting, one of the workers asked the employer if he will be late in the work due to train delays or something, train cancellation. Shall he lose his job? Employer replied, according to law, blah, 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 you must be on time to your workplace. Even if you need to catch the train 2 hours earlier, you have to do it. I immediately asked the employer, then who is going to pay if a worker need to catch the train 2 hours earlier to avoid the train delay or cancellation? It is not at all that worker's fault. That is the problem of the train service provider, and worker is not supposed to be responsible for somebody else's fault. The employer couldn't establish any logical argument. He just addressed that this is law and you have to follow it. My point is, if it is the law, then the law should be amended or it should be changed. Law is to make the life convenient. It is not to create discrimination. Same thing I argued with an insurance company and human rights organization last week when I came to know that I am separated from my family health insurance because I am earning more than 470 euro. I was asking them, for example, if I am earning this month 490 or 500 euro and I am paying almost 200 euro for earning 30 euro extra, is it logical? If I am earning 500 euro, paying 270 euro for house rent and 200 euro for insurance, I have raised 30 euro left. Is it logical? There was no logical response. In response, they just say, oh, this is law and we have to follow it. We all can find, with the excuse of law, the government or the authority, corporations are making our life hell. They are creating discrimination, creating hierarchy, and only they are making profit and imposing slavery. Yesterday I was talking with a friend and telling him that the 1st of May is on Sunday. That means worker has been deprived already for one holiday in their working years. And industries and corporations get a chance to make one more day profit. And he replied that it's supposed to switch to another working day. Is there any government thinking that way? If not, then my friend is very much eligible to run the government, not them. Thank you, everyone.